Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. I welcome you all to His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj's daily call, and thank you all for joining. And Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, today I'm assuming we are discussing the Damodar pastime today, and 10th canto, 9th chapter. You're on mute, Maharaj.
Sri Devi did some verses, so I don't know where it is now.
Okay, yes, I will share the screen. So we are on this verse, Maharaj.
Okay, we'll begin. Om
Yes.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can you make it full screen? It's not a full screen. And you have to expand the screen somehow, so it covers the whole section. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I was on mute, Maharaj.
Yeah, can you expand the full screen?
So I was saying, Maharaj, that I'm on full screen from thy side. This side is full screen.
It doesn't. My screen is now.
I mean, Mataji, I think Hare Krishna Mataji, I think can you increase the font size?
I have increased the font size, Mataji. It's, I think, used more than usual. Let me share it again, Maharaj. Give me a second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it okay now?
No.
Okay.
It's still a partial window.
Oh,
And the thing is, I can't cut off. There's a whole, I can still see the gallery, and it's usually I can cut the gallery off, but I can't, there's no way I can cut the gallery off. No. Let's see. Yeah.
let me.
No.
If you close the participants list, Maharaj, would that help?
I can't. Somehow it's taking up the full screen here.
Okay.
Gallery. Full screen. I don't know. Usually, is Srimati there? Or is she online today?
There is yeah, she's online, Maharaj. There is a full screen button at the bottom, at the top. If you see view, it says view, and if you click on that, it will show. There are 3 buttons: speaker, gallery, and immersive, and then full screen.
It says exit full screen. That's all it says.
Oh, okay. Let me share again. Maybe you're already in full screen. Let's see. Does it help, Maharaj? No?
Well, I have a whole list of the gallery. It's also on the same screen. I can see you, I can see Scarlett, I can see Tulsi, I can see Kirti, and along with the diverse. And I can't cut that off. It's blocking part of the screen.
Guru Maharaj, if you select the speaker.
Speaker, yeah, then I'll get Satyabhama. That's what I'll get. Now I get now I get you. You're Suk. Okay.
Now
yeah. All right. Now go to full screen. It's too small. You have to increase the font size.
Okay, I will increase the font size. Is this?
Yeah, that's good font size, but it's not changing the structure here. That's good.
Satyabhama, if you just pin the shared screen.
Yeah.
It's from your side. Because you're doing the share screening, not me. I can't do it.
Does it help this now?
Well, we can do it, but I got a small box, and that's all I can see. And when I try to read the purports, it's going to be really hard. Let's try it anyway. I'll let you know if I can't see it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9, 13 and 14. Nakantar nabihar yasya na purvorman na pichaparam purvaparam bahis chantar jagato yo jagachayaha. That's all I can see.
If I move now?
Yeah. Keep going. Tam matval majam avyaktam marjalingam ahoksajam gopiko lukale damna babadam prakritim yataha. I can't see the whole translation. Now you have to maybe make the screen smaller, make the font smaller. bring it down a little. One, yeah. And then move it towards the left a little. Still can't see the whole thing. Yeah, go ahead. Now I can see it. Okay. Well, let me get my glasses because I can't. That's too small. Go up one big step. One more.
Okay. I'm just
That's more.
more.
More. Bigger. Bigger. Okay, stop there. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Don't move. Don't move. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior, no interior, no front, no rear. In other words, he is all pervading. Because he is not under the influence of the element of time, for him there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times. Beyond absolute, beyond relativity, he is free from distinctions because of cause and effect. Although he is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond our perceptions and senses and now appears as a human child, and Mother Yasoda, considering him as her ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 10.12, Krishna is described as the Supreme Person, Supreme Brahman, Param Brahman, Param Dharmam. The word Brahma means the greatest. Krishna is greater than the greatest, being unlimited and all-pervading. How can it be possible for the all-pervading to be measured or bound? Then again, Krishna is the time factor. Therefore, he is the all-pervading not only in space, but also in time. We have measurements of time, but although we are limited by past, present, future, for Krishna, these do not exist. Every individual person can be measured, but Krishna has already shown that although he is an individual, the entire cosmic manifestation is within his mouth. All these points considered, Krishna cannot be measured. How then did Mother Yasoda want to measure him and bind him? We must conclude that this took place simply on the platform of pure transcendental love. This was the only cause. Advaitam achyutam anaryanantarupam madhyam purana purusho navayauvanam cha vedeshu durlabam abhadurlam atmabhakto govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Advaitam achyutam anaryanantarupam adhyam purana purusho navayauvanam cha vedesha durlabam apadurlam atma bhakto govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Everything is one because Krishna is the supreme cause of everything. Krishna cannot be measured or calculated by Vedic knowledge. Vedarsha Durlabham. He is available only to the devotees, the Durlabham Atma Bhakto. Devotees can handle him because they act on the basis of loving service. Bhaktimam avijananti yavanyaschasmi tatpataha. Thus Mother Yasoda wanted to bind him. Omagyan timidam dasya gana jana salakaya. Chaksun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Nama om Vishnu padaya Krishna prasnaya bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pasyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Taruvascha Vipa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is beyond all material definitions. He doesn't fit into any material definitions. He is beyond the three realms of measurement, length, breadth, and width. He is beyond time, which is the fourth measurement. And he's in the fifth category, he is on the transcendental platform. On the transcendental platform, simply he follows his own energies, and these energies are not bound by anything material. So when Mother Yasoda wanted to bind him, she kept adding rope and more rope, and each time she added more rope, the rope was always the same measurement, 2 inches too short. And therefore, she was becoming bewildered. But for Krishna, it's still beyond, because he cannot be bound by anything material. Here it mentions his all-pervading influence, which is his Brahman nature. He is had no beginning, no end, no exterior, inferior, front, rear. He's all-pervading, beyond the influence of time. He's beyond the influence of relativity or everything about him. So this is the nature of the absolute truth. Now, the impersonalists say that when he takes a form, then he becomes limited. Therefore, he can be measured according to a form. But his form is not like the forms that exist in the material world, which are defined by limitation. His form contains everything within it, just like in another particular pastime when Mother Yasoda wanted to look into his mouth, cowherd boys headed by Balaram were complaining, "Hey, Krishna's eating dirt. He's going to get sick." Yasoda became alarmed. She called her son over, picked him up, and looked into his mouth. When she looked into his mouth, she was looking for dirt. All she saw was the whole cosmic creation inside of his mouth. She saw the planetary systems. She saw the stars. She saw everything in creation within the mouth of Krishna. And she also saw herself looking into the mouth of Krishna, in the mouth of Krishna. So this was an example of how he is beyond everything material. And everything, even though he is there in his particular manifestation as the form, whatever form that may be, it contains all of the nature of the absolute truth, which means it cannot be measured, cannot be controlled, it cannot be understood. So here, when Mother Yasoda was trying to bind Krishna, she just kept getting more and more bewildered, adding rope after rope after rope, and nothing was working. At one point, she was becoming a little exasperated, but because it was so bewildering, she was also laughing, thinking, I'm giving him more and more rope to tie him up. And still, I'm always short, no matter how much rope I put on. And then, of course, here, as Prabhupada says, there's no other reason why Krishna agreed to be bound up by his mother other than transcendental love. In other words, no material calculations or material energies, or even energies that are not up to the standard of pure devotional service, can actually bind Krishna. So it says that 2 inches too short, where Krishna was somewhat limited, was so much shortened, tying him up, indicates a particular principle of spiritual life, which is foundation for our understanding of our relationship with the process of pure devotional service. And that is that in order to be successful in devotional service, we must try our utmost to serve Krishna in the best possible way with a desire to please him. That is all we can do from our side. we can try to connect with him by serving him in a loving way, in a way that is pleasing to him. And ultimately, it's up to him to do the rest. And usually, because of his nature, he is attracted by love. But still, even if he's attracted by love, he reserves the right not to be controlled. He is even beyond that principle. So this is what's being illustrated here. That Mother Yasoda, she had love for Krishna. There's no question about that. But Krishna had this desire not to be tied up. He didn't want to be tied up. You can see this in children. If children are naughty, sometimes the parents want to restrict them. So sometimes they tie them up and restrict them in different ways. And this is the worst thing you can do for a child. A child becomes really angry and starts even crying more. But and Krishna is exhibiting some of the qualities of an ordinary child in his Lila. So he didn't really want to be tied up. He wanted to have his, go around and do whatever he wanted to do. That's because he's God. He has that, he has that quality. And but Mother Yasoda's love was stronger than his desire to resist. So at one point, he gave into her love and agreed to be tied up. So here's we see is the superior principle that works beyond all of the material endeavors that anyone can make in relationship to the Supreme. In other words, love makes everything happen. According to love's fulfillment. In other words, when one tries to love Krishna, one will always be successful. One might try to love someone in this material world, but we don't know whether we can actually satisfy that person by our loving relationship, or whether that person will accept our loving relationship. So in this world, or even if they do accept, can they reciprocate on the same level that love is given? So all of this is all part of the material inebrities, which is all relative to time, place, and circumstance, and persons involved. But for Krishna, when love is so strong that even Krishna cannot resist. And therefore, in order to please his mother, to reciprocate her loving relationship, he agreed to get tied up. Otherwise, as this verse describes, he's beyond everything material. Although he appears as a little child, he still remains transcendental to all of the energies of the material energy. Because he's actually the controller of the material energy. The material energy works under his direction. So how can he be controlled by that same energy that he created and controls also? So this is the nature of Krishna. In the material world, when we try to control something, we get controlled by that same energy we try to control. And therefore, just like people want to enjoy, and so they find different ways to enjoy in this world. But then that enjoyment controls them in such a way that they become forced to act according to the results of that connection. For instance, people want to enjoy smoking cigarettes, so they smoke, but then they get attached to it. And although they are warned that it's not healthy, still they can't give it up. Even if they know it's not the best thing for them, still they can't give it up because they can try to control something in order to enjoy it. So that's the nature of everything material. As soon as you try to enjoy anything in this world, it puts a restriction on you, and then you have to get a reaction according to that restriction. In other words, every good aspect of something has a counterpart to it, which is not good or brings one down. That is the nature of anything material, because material means relativity, material means duality. Here it says Krishna is beyond relativity. So none of the terminologies fit. That's why Krishna can steal, and it's not considered to be thievery, because he's beyond the rules and regulations of the material world. He can he can do anything he wants, even if it appears to be immoral. He dances with 16,108 gopis, and these are all young girls who are married to other persons. But this is the highest level of morality, because he is the author of morality, and if he somehow or other goes against modern morality, he creates a higher level of morality, which is the real morality. So he makes the laws. He can also change the laws according to his nature, according to his own desire. That's Krishna. No one can understand Krishna. But when we observe how this material energy works, we can see the phenomenon of how this material energy is producing so many extraordinary things. But this is all due to the influence of Krishna within that energy. Otherwise, the energy cannot do anything. Okay, so he's tied up. Now we'll learn a little bit more in the future verses on what will unfold. Is it cold in the UK now? You're on mute.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, it is cold, miserable, raining.
Okay, you guys yeah, you look quite bundled up there. I'm here with my fan on. And even with the fan on, it's too hot.
We'll send some cold over there, Guru Maharaj.
No. We need some heat from there.
Send yourself over to Mayapur. That's what you need to send.
Huh? Sorry, Sri Devi.
I said, send yourself over to Mayapur.
I'm coming.
Yes.
But you're not there that time.
So thank you, and thank you, Maharaj, for the very nectarian and wonderful talk you gave on Mother Yashoda's pastime. And I really like what you said, that Krishna's nature is to love, and that he displayed through his relationship with Mother Yashoda and also with the gopis. Though he's ultimate, his ultimate truth, he comes as a child. And he displays his relationship with Mother Yashoda. So thank you so much for sharing that, Maharaj. Devotees, what is that? Sorry, I thought you were showing something, Maharaj.
Questions?
Sorry, I missed it. Should we start the question and answer, Maharaj? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes. So devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, please unmute yourself and switch on your cameras as well. It would be nice to take a darshan. Thank you so much. Maharaj, if you can bring your screen a little bit down, maybe we can't. Yes, that's better. Thank you. This is much better. Jai Hare Krishna.
Okay, so I put on my hat and my hair mask. Yeah.
Yes, Sridevi Mataji, go ahead.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Yashoda Mata's love. Guru Maharaj, you said just now that when we try to control some aspect of Krishna's material energy, we get controlled ourselves. And the very thing that we are trying to acquire or get, even if it may be in Krishna's service, because we are mixed devotees, may control us. So how we can make sure
Yeah.
whatever we are trying to do will not entangle us?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Maharaj.
Yeah, you just gave the devotional service. As long as you try to work in the material realm, you're going to be controlled by that energy. You can't control the material energy. It's Krishna's energy. He controls it. And it works under his nature. So you can't control the material energy. So when you try to enjoy it, you get controlled by it. And when you try to control it, you get controlled by it. If you're feeling angry, you're getting controlled by that anger. If you're feeling enviousness, you get controlled by that envy. So although you're expressing certain feelings, that those feelings are controlling you because of material. If you want to be free from control, you have to go to the spiritual platform. And you have to go to the devotional platform. So when you serve the Lord according to his desire, then you're free. You're not controlled by the material energy. You're controlled by the spiritual energy, but you can't be free from control. That's the point. No one is free from control. They can be controlled by, as we said the other day, Krishna is your jailer or Krishna is your lover. Whatever you want him to be. If you try to enjoy the material world, he is that superintendent who guides Durga Devi to perform her service, and you're under her control. And therefore, you get reactions for the activities you perform in the material world.
So now, Guru Maharaj, I'm trying to get an apartment to stay in as well as to seva in. Haribol?
Talk slower.
I said, now I am in Mayapur and I am trying to get an apartment to live in as well as to use it for my place of seva. So how can I do it in such a way that I'm not trying to enjoy it and get entangled by it?
Well, it's for your service. You need a place to live and you need a place where you can facilitate your service. So it's not material. So you go about that. That's supportive of your devotional service. But devotional service depends on the situation you're in. You can always serve in any situation, but if you want to serve in a certain way, such as you want to perform a particular service to others, you might need the facility in order to do that. So we get temples, we get preaching centers, we get automobiles, we get computers. All of these things facilitate our service to the Lord. But then again, you have to see, is it necessary or not necessary? If it's necessary, then based on that, then that effort is not material. But if it's not necessary, then you might get entangled in that. So that has to be determined whether what you're trying to achieve in terms of the material energy is required for your devotional service. So some things are necessary. Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks about that. It's called prayasa, endeavor. And he says a little, just like if you want to go out in book distribution, you got to have some books. You can't go out on book distribution without books, so you have to make an endeavor to get some books. If you want to do kirtan, you may have to, in order to attract others, you may have to have a mridanga, you may have to have kartals. If you want to serve people according to your profession, you might need a facility that will allow that service to unfold.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the clarification.
But don't stop serving because you don't have it. Keep your service going. And at the same time, you might continue to look for a place. I mean, I've been in Mayapur for about 3 weeks now, and this is the third place I've been in 3 weeks. Actually, it's the fourth place, not the third. So I switched from one place to another place to another place. And then in that last place, there were many apartment buildings. So I switched from one apartment to another one in the same place. So I moved 4 times. So I landed once, and then the second time, third time now here. So it's all based on what I feel I need in order to, do my service, or even to live in a situation that will allow me to facilitate my service. Well, that's not unusual. We just don't waste time.
Thank you, Shridevi Mataji. Any other question? So Maharaj, while you are waiting for next question, I would like to ask about the similar to what Shridevi Mataji has asked. So sometime in the life it happens that it's said actually that when Krishna is happy with you, he will try and take things away from you, and maybe it's financially or relationship, materially, or anything like that. It might happen. Like we're not in that. I'm not at that stage at all. But sometime it happens that when even you're progressing materially, as devotees do, sometime may happen in their life. How do we see those things? As in, do we think that if Krishna is upset with us, or do we think that Krishna is facilitating for you to serve him in some other areas or better ways or anything like that? How do we?
It could be either one.
Okay.
That requires a little introspective and maybe advice from people who are around you to see, so you can properly understand what's happening. But in any case, you can always take shelter of Krishna. That's the point.
Yeah.
And when you take shelter of Krishna, yeah, everything is nice.
Yes. That is very nice, Maharaj. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Any other questions, devotees? So while again we are waiting, I will ask one more question, Maharaj. I'm sorry. Yes, Revati Mataji, go on.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for this very nice nectarian class. So, Guru Maharaj, my question is like, yeah, just forgive me. I'm very less intelligent, so I'm just trying to understand. So, Yashoda Mata was expressing her love to Krishna, and she doesn't know Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. So her mood is like pure love. And Kunti Maharani, she knows Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. And she's also serving Krishna in a Vatsalya rasa. So how can I mean, what is the mood? I mean, how can I differentiate? How can I understand Kunti Maharani's mood of worship? And because Yashoda Mata is serving without knowing Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. And Kunti Maharani is also serving. So how can we learn from their modes? Like,
The question
question is like Kunti Maharani, she doesn't know Krishna, she knows Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, and and she's serving Krishna, and Yashoda Mata, she knows Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. So what is the mode? And both, it's a love, but
the love is more intimate with Yasoda, and even Kunti, when there's a prayer that Mother Kunti makes in glorification of Mother Yasoda. It's in the prayers of Queen Kunti. So all in reverence is subordinate to intimate loving, the intimate loving mood. So the intimate loving mood is what attracts Krishna more than awe and reverence.
So Kunti Maharani's is like in awe and reverence.
Kunti has love for Krishna, but it's mixed with reverence. Because he knows he's a supreme Lord. But the residents of Vrindavan, they just love Krishna for who he is. They don't care whether he's God or not. It doesn't matter. He's just the most beautiful and attractive boy in their village. And he's wonderful. It's like you love your children more than other children because they're your children. But even if other children are more qualified than your children, it doesn't mean you will love their children more because it's your child. Therefore, even though maybe your children is not as qualified as other children, still you have love for them. That's superior than your affection or relationship with other children. So Krishna is very intimately connected to the residents of Vrindavan, and all they know is Krishna. That's it. They don't care whether he's God or what. They pray to God so they can serve Krishna better. But that's a high level of bhakti, which comes by way of pious activities for thousands of lifetimes and much devotional service. So yeah, Ramyakasya, was it Ramyakasya, Rajabadu, the love of the residents of Vrindavan is superior to any other love. Love is not limited. It's like when you reach love, then that's it. Love expands itself into itself, and there's unlimited levels of loving relationships. And these are all punctuated by different moods of loving sentiments. So the residents of Vrindavan have many of those sentiments for Krishna, which is very attractive to Krishna. It's just like, Prabhupada gives a nice example. Where, a very important man, he's very rich, so he gets nice food. So he's getting all the best food, but sometimes he wants some puffed rice. So puffed rice, what is puffed rice? It's some really, rice. Not very tasty. Sometimes they make it a little tasty. But because he who he is, he can say, well, I want some puffed rice. So for Krishna, he's getting praised all the time. And he's thinking, that's nice, but when people chastise me and correct me, that's even nicer. Because they are taking him, they're treating him as a subordinate. So God gets tired of this being eulogized all the time. So he loves to get chastised by his devotees, but nobody can do that except his loving devotees. So he even says that. When Mother Yasoda takes the stick, chases after me, that's much better than all the prayers of all of the personified Vedas. That's good. That's Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very nice experience. Thank you so much. And we are so conditioned. So as you said, for our level, I should only look like purifying my heart so can experience those symptoms. Yeah, thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you're a mother, you can understand it better than most people. Because mothers have love for their children.
Mm.
Even if their children are more smarter than the mother, still the mother takes a superior position in order to perform her role as a mother.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
That's
Thank
a
you.
material.
Thank you, Revati Mataji. Scarlett Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your holiness, Chandramauli, and all glories to all of you devotees. I have a little, maybe to say, respectful fear, because I get to hear things and I get to read things that it contradicts to each other. For instance, in my understanding,
Maharaj, you can't hear. You cannot hear her.
You're going to have to paraphrase what Scarlett is saying. I can't get that.
So Mataji, please rephrase your question, the first part of your question.
Okay, I get to, I have a bit of respectful fear because of what I read and what I hear all the time. It's, for me, it gives the feeling of contradiction. For instance, I learned in one side that just even if you don't have the possibility to serve Krishna, to have the deity, it's enough that you think about it. It's even that is devotional service. But then I read something that I think you have said. I got it in the nectar of your words, that if one not worship the Damodar deity, one become a snake around the Govardhan Hill, and that makes me afraid because because it makes me afraid that I don't have any deity to worship. I can do it in my head, of course. I have a picture on the book and I sit and look at it and sing and light ghee lamp and put it front of picture, which is in the count to 10. But more than that, I cannot do. So do I become the snake around and be around the Govardhan Hill or what? I'm so sorry. I'm afraid.
The statement I made is not coming from me, it's coming from Shastra.
Okay.
And so it means that anyone who neglects the worship of Damodar will become a snake. And so if you're lighting candles, if you're offering prayers to the picture, you're worshiping. Well, why are you saying?
But I don't have deity. It says deity. A Damodar deity.
No, it doesn't say deity.
No?
But if you don't, if people neglect the worship of Damodar, in other words, if they forget about this month, they don't do anything this whole month to worship the Lord, and then they will become snakes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're doing something, so you have no, you have no issue. There's no problem.
Okay.
Hmm.
I have listened to your Mayapur.
1 minute. Even if you just every night offer a candle to the picture, that's worship.
Is it enough?
Well, you try to do as much as you can, but if you're limited, then do whatever you can do.
Okay.
Like some of us go to the temple, that's nice, but some of us can't go to the temple, so we have a little deity of Krishna and Mother Yasoda, sing the song, offer the lamp. But do it with devotion.
Okay. So I'm not going to be a snake. I'm not going to turn to the snake.
If you keep asking that question, you might. You better just drop the question.
No, please don't say that. As I promised, I have looked at your Mayapur that you have lecture in Mayapur, and I have looked about the yesterday program. And yesterday program, it was about Chaitanya Charitamrita. What I discover, I promise you, because of you, I discover that my book missed 5 pages.
Your what?
In my Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5 pages missing. That's thanks for to your class yesterday, which I was listening, and I was trying to read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I find out that it missed 5 pages in that book. So it was good class anyway.
If I give you advice, you're going to argue with me again?
No, please give me.
Okay. Get another copy.
Okay. I will, I promise, I will. And I will show you to you. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Right.
Thank you, Scarlett Mataji. Very sweet question. Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, this sweet pastime where Yashoda Mata doesn't know Krishna is God, the Sakhas, his friends, don't know he is God, Nanda Maharaj doesn't know he is God, and this stage is attained after many lifetimes of very pure loving service to Krishna. So, does it mean that initially their worship of Krishna becomes more and more purified and loving, and then Krishna, being captured by their love, then covers their understanding of who he is, so that he can have very intimate.
No, he doesn't cover anything. That's the mood of Vrindavan. They're in the mood of Vrindavan.
So how do they forget that he is God?
Even if you tell them that Krishna is God, they don't care. He may be God, but still, he has to eat. He wants to, he also gets sick. That's a cultivation of a particular mood of devotional service that develops over lifetime after lifetime until it reaches that perfectional state. Just like the deities in the temple, right? David. Just like the deities in the temple. Now the deities in the temple are Radha and Krishna. But are we worshiping them as Radha and Krishna?
We are worshipping them in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan.
Exactly. So we're worshiping Radha and Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan because we haven't reached the stage of loving Krishna in the Vrindavan mood. But if you keep worshiping, gradually you can also attain that stage. And you have to follow the process. You have to follow Raganuga Bhakti.
So to come to this stage of Vrindavan needs many lifetimes of pure devotional service.
You can accelerate it by your bhakti. We say many lifetimes because that's the norm. The Prabhupada says you can reach perfection in one lifetime. Follow the process. That's it.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Shitavi Mataji. I have a very little question on the, but anyway, put Namrata Mataji here. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Saugli Srila Prabhupada. What should be our attitude towards the animals of Holy Dham? As it is said that they could have been saints.
Well, because they're Dambasis, they are given all respect as Dambasis. Can't cause any harm to any, even if the monkey steals your glasses. You can try to get your glasses cracked, but you can't go out and kill the monkey. Yeah. Everything in Vrindavan is non-different than Krishna. Should be seen that way, it should be understood that way.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Namrata Mataji, I think that answers it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, she's saying thank you. She's the doctor, so can't keep the cameras on. That's fine. Good luck with your doctor's appointment, Namrata Mataji. Maharaj, you said one thing to Namrata, to Shridevi Mataji, to accelerate the bhakti. How can one accelerate the bhakti, Maharaj?
Go deeper into the philosophy, go deeper into the chanting. Here, I'm at the Mayapur Institute. Today we had our inauguration ceremony for the opening of Bhakti Shastra here. And so many devotees spoke. And the speeches, for many of them, there's a chance to go deeper into your practice of Krishna consciousness, both in the philosophical level, also on the personal level, in your relationships to others. As you learn the philosophy, you also learn the principles of how one can interact with all living entities accordingly. So everything is there, and the philosophy is the basis for our consciousness to be directed in that way. And as we practice that, we develop that. And as we develop that, we become like that. And as we become like that, we develop the qualities of the Vaishnava. Then the philosophy is no longer just a study program, it's actually a part of our character. So yeah, you can do that with the holy name, you can do that with the philosophy, you can do that with deity worship, just go deeper into it. On the mic, take a course in deity worship. We have openings for men and women in the deity worship course right now. Come to Mayapur Institute and learn more about the different shastras that Prabhupada gave us. Learn them in a systematic way. This is going deeper into Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj. That really helps. Thank you. Makes sense.
Mayapur is here. We don't come to Mayapur. We should come to Mayapur. Prabhupada said we should be here at least 8 days every year for the Guru Purnima Festival, which is coming up in early March, late February. But Mayapur offers so much facilities for spiritual development. Vrindavan also offers that same. If you can develop it at your own temples, just like in London, you got programs for development there. We've got the School of Bhakti in the manner, which are extra features of the practice of Krishna consciousness, aside from the regular temple schedule. How eager are we to become Krishna conscious will be shown by how much we dive into the process. And that eagerness comes by understanding that Krishna consciousness is the solution to all problems. It's the perfection of all activities. It is the fulfillment of all desires, and it's the ultimate relationship of happiness. When you understand the exclusiveness of Krishna consciousness, and you'll think, why waste time with anything else? Everything else is a waste of time.
Definitely. Thank you so much. This was very, very helpful, very nice. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. Sorry, Scarlett Mataji, you have a question?
Yes. I have had so many worries before that especially when I have too much pain, it's very, very difficult to focus, to concentrate. But today, in your lecture, I heard that you talk about in Padma Purana that it was something about the biggest mistake to forget Lord Krishna, and that there was someone who asked and said, what happened if we forget? Sometimes we are in the situation that it makes it difficult to remember. Then you say that as long as you do your side of what you need to do and remember him. Even with the difficulty, even if you forget, the Chaitanya will force it himself in your mind to remember. Have I understand it right? That even if I have so much pain and I can't focus, that I don't think anything else, just the pain, then still Lord Krishna will help me and make me to remember.
Krishna is reciprocating according to how you approach him. Even if you're imperfect in your expressions, if you're trying in your devotional service, you will receive the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, Nectar Devotion says, sincerity is the most important thing. I sincerely want to serve Krishna. And so imperfection in the service, for whatever reason, it won't matter because you're trying to best. But we should also learn how to overcome these, cause us to forget. In other words, learn from your mistakes, keep trying hard. As long as you keep trying hard, you're in the best position to learn, to move forward, and to receive the mercy. Okay. Damodar, you on strike?
Yes. So that was really nice what he said, Maharaj. You're in the best position to learn, to move forward, and to receive mercy. That is the tagline for today. Thank you. Okay. Jai. If there is no other questions, then we can close the call now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be back in time. I have to go out tomorrow most of the day. I may be back in time for 4:30, or I may not be. Hard to say. So Srimati can align someone to give tomorrow's class, just in case I don't make it in time.
Okay, Srimati Mataji is online, so she's here.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Yes, Guru Maharaj, sure, I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunday, we are okay, Guru Maharaj. Sunday, you'll be able to join.
Oh, somebody gave me a program on Sunday from 4 to 6, and 4:30 is my class time. So it's another, that one completely off on Sunday. For the next 2 days, we can line some devotees up.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Sunday for sure I won't be there, but tomorrow there is a possibility.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, nice to see some of you who never come online with your cameras. See you. Artie never puts on her camera, and now she put on her camera today. So, and she has this cheesecake smile. And
I was thinking of having cheesecake today, but I didn't have any.
whatever you said, I agree with.
Maharaj, she said that she was planning to have cheesecake today, but she didn't had any. And you reminded her of cheesecake.
She was planning to have what?
She was planning to have cheesecake today, but she did not had any.
They